Well, this is one of the shots from the very first photo session, which was used for publicity. In those days, the real leader was Brian Jones. In a lot of the other pictures, Mick is in the middle because he was determined even then that he was going to be the leader. Brian was a true musician. He spent his life being a musician. He'd been in several groups before the rest of them. Mick was at the London School of Economics learning to be a lawyer. Charlie Watts was at university learning to be a graphic artist. Of course, the oldest was Bill Wyman, who was 26. If you have ever heard much about the Rolling Stones, you will know about Andrew Loog Oldham, because he was the most influential person in their development in the early years. And he told me when I met him in Monte Carlo, and I believed him, that he was going back to England and he was going to find a rock and roll group and he was going to turn them into the greatest rock and roll band in the world. He then rang me up about a year later and said, I found them. And I said, found what? The band I'm going to make into the greatest rock and roll band in the world. So he said, are you busy? So I said, not all that busy. So he said, can you come and photograph them? So I agreed to photograph them on the Friday. He signed them on the Monday, I photographed them on the Friday. I took these pictures in Chelsea, which was the centre of the Chelsea set, who were the people who really pushed London into becoming a swinging city. Even in the very early days, Andrew knew what he wanted the group to represent, and he wanted them to be mean and nasty, because up to that time there'd been the crooners who'd been very happy and did songs about love. They were all nice, but they weren't nice to Brian. Even in the very early days, they decided they wanted to get rid of him, which, of course, eventually they managed to do. And these call boxes, or telephone boxes, were there until a couple of years ago. All these photographs I kept in a cupboard for about 30 years, 35 years. And when I got them out, I had no idea what I had. And I didn't realise then that one day they would be the greatest rock and roll band in the world.